Okay, I'm due for an update. I know I'm due for an update. So the last couple things I posted, I was in a good mood and I was reading something from Robert Fulghum. And I hope you enjoyed those. Since then, as you can tell from the pinching of the eyes, it's not been the easiest go of things. Um, Several friends are having personal dramas going on, which makes their life difficult, which impacts on a whole other second and third layer of things that involve them, obviously, their families, of course, and me because they're involved with me in one way or another. And then you have the relative situation. Now, I'm not going to try and quote Einstein or physicists about theory of relativity, but in a comedic sense, the theory of relativity, to me, is that all people have relatives and they all suck. The theory is that they might not suck. I've got people telling me, oh, well, we can't. Some relatives, some not, telling me, oh, well, but the wedding's on a Friday and so will have school. Alright, you know what? It's the third Friday in September. They're not coming up to midterms. They're not studying for finals. It takes 2 weeks for the average student, elementary, middle, or high school. It takes 2 weeks at a minimum to get back in the right mindset after summer break. By the third week, you're not missing anything by missing a Friday. You get your homework assignments on Thursday when you bring in the note from your parent or guardian, and then you go. That's it. Blaming it on the kids. The lazy man's excuse for I can't afford to come and I don't want to ask for your help. And then there's people like Ruth. Now, in the first place, Ruth was wishy-washy at best about whether or not she'd be coming. First she wanted to, and then she still wanted to, but she didn't know if Bill would be allowed to go because he's older than her. He's 90 as of like last week. And he's got questionable health because of what happened to him in the last couple of years, which in and of itself is a long blog posting. And then she calls me the other day and leaves me a message, and of course I didn't answer right away because generally speaking, I never want to talk to her. So I called her back this morning, admittedly to work an angle because she promised me something a couple months ago that she still hasn't delivered on, and being that it's of a financial nature and there's a wedding coming up, following through seemed the most prudent. So I called her back to return her message this morning, and it's instant. The waterworks begin like Niagara crashing over me in the barrel I've been thrown off the cliff in. Apparently what happened is that yesterday, while out doing errands on the way to an appointment for her, Bill, who doesn't have the best balance anyway, which was partially the cause of his earlier health problems that he now suffers from, tripped. Now, in and of itself, that's bad, that's dangerous, but when he fell on Ruth. That's right, landed on her. She herself is not necessarily a sickly woman, but she is almost 86 and a half years old. There's not a lot of meat on her. There was no cushion. He was basically fine according to her. The problem is, he's 6'2". She's like 5'5". I mean, she's roughly my height. Maybe 5'6" with her hair. But in any event, he landed on her. She ended up with a cut above one eye, I'm assuming which eye, and a broken left shoulder, which she kept referring to as a broken arm, which, depending on how you divvy up anatomy, could or could not be the case. They had to take them in by ambulance. She refused to stay. She refused the ordinarily mandated neurological exam because she hit her head, as indicated by, the cut and the blood flow, because she's convinced it's just doctors out money grubbing and seeking to get a bigger paycheck. And, oh, and he didn't do the sling right. It was so loose and I'm in so much pain. And, look, I'm not trying to make fun of the fact that she's hurt. She's an octogenarian and she broke something. It's painful. Breaking something is always painful, and I'm sure it's a lot worse the older you get, because you can't really afford the necessary time frame to heal in many cases, which is a polite way of sidestepping the reality that you might die before you heal, I guess. But she is now officially not coming to the wedding, nor is Bill, obviously, because what it had been was that she said she could only come if they had someone basically to chauffeur them around, because she doesn't drive in New York. She refuses to. I mean, she lived here for I don't even know how many decades. She won't drive here now. So she wanted her friend to come with them. She'd pay for, the friend staying with them and the rental car and blah, 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 but it would mean a third person coming with their party to the wedding. I was almost okay with that idea because my dad promised to run interference between her and life with everyone else at the reception at a place called Life, which there's levels of irony there I won't get into. But now she's not coming. So, it's been an interesting morning. I still have my workout to fit in today. I'm going to start living by my step counter for the next few weeks. Overall, on a separate topic of personal goal keeping, I guess you'd call it. We went away for a weekend to Phoenicia, New York, which is upstate. We also stopped at Woodstock, not the concert site, and in Kingston on the way back. Phoenicia was great. I mean, it's a one-street town, basically. It's like 3 blocks of Main Street, and that's it. And then there's like the swimming hole and the river, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I like nature. I grew up in Maine. I'm all for being the hell away from everyone and everything, and it was good to get. I mean, this room was nice, though. It was a little on the small side, but it had a queen-size bed in it, which obviously took up most of the room, its own air conditioner, its own bathroom, and a flat-screen TV with a built-in DVD player. And free DVDs to borrow in the main office. So that's good. I mean, they had free in-house brewed Starbucks coffee, and they had this canister with a little multi-choice Dove bites, like the milk, the dark, the caramel, the white and dark swirl. So there I'm standing at the friggin' coffee thing, 8 o'clock every morning when the office opens, making a Dove-flavored Starbucks coffee. And I kept offering to make one for the person at the desk. I guess it's this, husband and wife who own it. So like one morning it was him, and then one morning it was her. And while I was standing there, it's 8:05 in the morning. I'm like, do you want anything while I'm here? I used to be a barista. It's just instinct. Oh, do you want something? They politely said no, but thank you. I think they have their own private kitchen in the back where, they do what they want. Because they probably live on the property. I mean, that's how out there this place was. But it was a good weekend. A couple of tense moments when discussions came up that shouldn't come up on a weekend away, but we got through it. The tenseness, I mean. And I'd say overall we enjoyed the weekend. I know I still haven't told you the story of what happened to me on the bus when I went up to Maine, and it's funny, but there's too much else going on. So I'll go back and visit that at a later point. The point of the Phoenicia mention was that in the last few weeks I've been documenting inches lost or gained for overall mass, meaning upper arms, waist, thighs, and hips. I don't know if that's how everyone measures when they're losing inches, but I would imagine most female body types prefer to measure that way because those are really the key areas that most females, aside from their bust line, are concerned with. The weekend away in Phoenicia, I net gained, of all 4 areas, I net gained 1.5 inches. But that's actually skewed because I lost 0.5 inch in 3 out of 4 places each and put on 2 inches in my hips, which means it's basically water weight. You know, we ate out every meal for 4 days. I'm going to put on water weight, you know. But that's fine. I still won't get on my scale. I don't like that thing and it doesn't like me. I'd rather go by trusty Mr. Tape Measure. But overall it means a net loss, since I started keeping track, of 11 inches all over. Which is good. I mean, it's only been, what, 5 weeks? According to the things I keep on the wall. So that's pretty good. I'm going for a dress fitting tomorrow. Hopefully that goes as well as I expect it to. I trust Jasmine's work. I really do. I haven't seen stitch 1. I mean, she did the draping last time I was there, but I haven't seen any of it actually on the dress. But I know it'll be good. I mean, it's her. I trust her. I've seen her other work. I'm honestly not jittery about it at all. So yeah, things have been interesting. And there's still more to do, and there's still more stuff I'm waiting to have taken care of at some point or another. And then there's family stuff this weekend, and then that means Saturday is going to be more busy because we're trying to figure out this, that, and the other thing. You know, by the time the honeymoon comes at the end of September, I'm going to be ready to crash and burn. Like, seriously, the day of the wedding will be great. I'm sure it'll be fun and everything. Wedding night, we'll politely gloss over that subject. But the first day of the honeymoon, when we get to where we're going, like, I'm gonna need a 12-hour nap. I'm positive of it. Like, I'm gonna need to for a long time. Because we're going to be away from home, we're going to be away from the cat, we'll have gone through the entire process and stress and whatever else theoretically could be entailed in an event gathering where people are celebrating and relatives are involved. That's why vacations like honeymoons are usually a week or more in length. Because like the first 24 hours is a wash. All you want to do is sleep and eat. You might have the energy to turn on the TV. That's about it. And then you start the honeymoon after that. We're staying in the Northeast for long, detailed, vaguely governmentally related reasons, which I'll get into later. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to update you more frequently, but, you know, as you can tell, it's been a bit hectic. Thanks for listening. Talk to y'all later.